What are some ways that we can help our students apply the reading skills they learn in our classrooms to their lives outside of school? And why would it be a good idea to really hone in on that and make it a priority? That's coming up in this video. Hey everyone, I'm Lee Hall from Literacy Teachers, and I'm all about giving you the tools you need to inspire, motivate, and change how students read and write for academic success. If you're new here, make sure you hit the subscribe button so that you get notifications because I put out new videos each week. All right, so today's question is focusing on what are some ways that we can help our students apply the reading skills they learn in our classrooms to their lives outside of school. And so what we're really talking about here is reading for authentic purposes. And what do we mean by that? What does the term authentic mean? So authentic means reading and writing for a purpose other than a grade. Now, I'm not saying that you wouldn't give your students grades. I know you would, but on most things, right? But this idea that we're reading and we're answering questions, completing a worksheet, writing a book report, whatever we do, and it goes to our teacher and we get a grade and then we're done, that is inauthentic. That is the opposite of what we're going for here. Not that there are still going to be moments when that happens, and that's not a bad thing in and of itself. But the more that we can make reading authentic, the more that we can connect it to students' lives outside of school, there has been some research done on this that shows it is more, students are going to increase their abilities to read and comprehend text, okay? So we really want to focus in on that. It's really going to give you a good bang for your buck. So what do we mean by authentic purposes for reading? What does that look like in practice? So first of all, while you as a teacher are still going to be part of the audience, you're still going to be reading work, reviewing work, grading work, giving comments. That doesn't have to change here. You are not the sole audience. You may not even be the primary audience. You may be a secondary audience, okay? So keep that in mind. And then thinking about trying to construct authentic purposes for reading and applying the reading skills outside of your classroom, think about for a minute, what are some reasons why we read, right? So there's a lot of them, okay? I've just boiled it down to 3 here, but this is certainly not all inclusive, right? We read some or all of a text because we need that information to solve a problem or answer a question that we have, right? We want to learn new information, right? We may have, right, just some personal interest in a topic and we want to learn more about it. We might read for enjoyment. We might read to relax, okay? So those are some reasons why we might choose to read on our own, and in doing so, we would be using all the reading skills that we've ever learned, okay? So how do you think about that in the context of your classroom, okay? Well, think about it like this. In a science context or a history context or a math context, you can have students design research projects around questions of interest. That doesn't mean it's a free-for-all. So for example, life cycle of the butterfly in science, really common topic, so that's why I picked it, I know. Students are still expected to learn about the life cycle of a butterfly, but have them identify questions that they have about the life cycle of a butterfly, and then they conduct that research. So in that way, it's not a free-for-all. There's still some parameters there. They're reading to solve questions, but they're questions that are related to the topic they need to learn, but that they are personally interested about. Now, once they've got these questions answered, and you can do that obviously in any subject matter, but once they have these questions answered, then what? Well, sometimes that's enough, right? Sometimes we read and we answer a question and that's enough, and that's an authentic purpose in and of itself. But if you want to take it a step further, think about how are they going to share what they're learning with a bigger community, okay, than just the teacher, than just themselves, okay? So, for example, I've seen where kids have made videos. They can make videos about what they've learned and share those. They have written they've compiled all of their questions as a class. They made a class book that has been published and stored in the class, or it can be in a class library. I've seen kids make pamphlets that they share, that they have on site at local nature parks, right, to answer questions that other kids their age have about whatever's going on at the local park. Okay, so in some ways, in those instances, kids are still learning research skills. They're learning the kinds of information, it's contained, so they're learning the kinds of information they need to learn, but then they're sharing that information with others. So it becomes authentic. It becomes teaching them about reading and writing skills and how to use those in a variety of ways outside of school. And if you do that, you're not going to do that with everything, okay? But if you do that consistently across the year, you're going to find real growth in terms of comprehension, in terms of writing, and in terms of students' content knowledge as well. So it's really well worth your time. All right, so thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe so that you can catch all of my videos. And while you're at it, head down to the comments and let's talk. How can you make the reading and the writing that your students do more authentic? What are some examples that you've done, or ideas that you have, or questions that you have, so that we can help each other sort of work through these things and help everybody move forward on their journey?